Hey there, world, and welcome back for another episode of Chopping It Up. If you are new to this podcast, make sure to listen to our previous episodes on the podcast channel at choppodcast.podbean.com and follow Chop Podcast, which is one word, on Instagram. Again, that's Chop Podcast on Instagram for everything related to Chopping It Up. I'm your host, Frankie, and I'm joined once again by Jeffrey Steiner. Jeff, what else do we have on tap for today?
Well, today we're taking a quick glance at the results of the Chop Classic, breaking down some headlines in Hollywood for Dummies, and getting caught up in nostalgia as we throw it back to our college days. Giddy up!
Thanks for joining us for the 5th episode of Chopping It Up. We are joined today by our special guest, the OG Chop himself, Jonathan Bassett. John, welcome to the podcast.
You ready? I don't know if I'd be the OG Chop. I think that's you, right?
Well, you're a part of the OG Chop. So I would say us three.
Fair enough. Yeah, that's
up the,
what I was. Yeah, just a little confusion.
Us three are the Chopazoids, I think, and then
I could agree with that. Jeff, what do you think?
You got to include Meyer, too.
Everybody
from Rosebrooks
Shout out Meyer.
418.
Shout out Meyer. Rosebrooks 418. Come through.
But yeah, this is the original group, guys. First time being together on the podcast.
Feels
a momentous day.
Feels good. Feel ready.
Having me.
Feel ready to go.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, well, Frankie, rant. Let's see what you got.
Let's hop right in, off the cuff. Mine actually just came about 15 minutes ago when Jeff told me that he hasn't seen my Snapchat that I sent to him a day ago, and he still hasn't opened one from 2 days ago. And this is something I've been wanting to vent about for a while, and this kind of just basically reminded me. I do not understand how people see notifications on their phone and then just don't respond. Like they just or don't even look at something. They don't respond. A day goes by and there's no response. People look at their phones 100 times a day. If you don't look at your phone at least 50 times a day, you're a crazy person, especially in this day and age. Can we agree on that?
I mean, yeah. If you have a cell phone, I suppose you look at it a lot. I feel like I'm being targeted here, but
no, not just you, Jeff. This goes out to a lot of people. You look at your phone all day, every day. You see the notification. Just open the Snapchat, open the message, respond to the message. Like, you don't need to wait 50 hours to respond to something. I just don't get it. That's my off the cuff for the week.
You know, I think that is targeted at Jeff because Jeff just doesn't look at his phone. Well, he does, but then he just won't answer anything.
In my defense, what normally happens, I swipe the notification away immediately because I say, I'll check that later. And that's part of the problem. But the other part is my phone's kind of old.
AKA, you should get an iPhone because he has a Droid. You didn't point that part out.
It's not the Droid part. Droid is fantastic technology. But it just, Snapchat is so slow because I have so little RAM left on my phone that it takes me like 10 minutes to open a Snap, and I just don't want to go through that pain. So, you know what? I guess I should just delete the app, but I don't want to lose you guys, you know?
Yeah, no, it sounds like a bit of an excuse, but that's an excuse. As far as I'm concerned, that's an excuse. You're looking at your phone always.
I'll work on it.
Yeah, you'll work on it. We'd like to see that.
What about you, John? First time being on the show. What do you have to rant about? Let's see what you got.
Well, it's sort of similar to one of yours last week with the walking on the phones, but more so, I'd like to call this walking etiquette. You guys talked about airplane etiquette last time.
Okay.
We'll do a little walking etiquette here. So, you have slow walkers. I myself, very slow walker. Totally fine.
Yeah,
Frankie's
John
pretty slow.
John and I are the slowest walkers in the history of UConn.
But if I'm walking slow, I do it because I realize I am, and I move to the right? So you can allow people to move past you if so need be, right?
Normal, yes.
So why do you walk right behind me the whole time and make me keep looking over my shoulder? Like, why is this person walking behind me the whole time?
This is barring stalkers,
right?
Of course,
yeah. This is interesting.
And then make me stop and allow you to go around me when you clearly just could have gone around me. This is not a one-way road here. You can pass me. There is the dotted yellow lines, you can pass.
Yeah, it's always a passing zone when you're walking.
Keep it in mind.
I agree. There's nothing more irritating than when people just don't know how to walk. The best is when you're in a busy public place and like it's just easy. Just everyone stay to the right side, and
Exactly.
no one will walk into each other.
It's just like driving. People.
And instead, people try to just cut people off, and then you have no idea where. This would happen in the dining hall all the time.
Right.
Last year,
Or when you turn a corner and you're turning on the right side of the corner, but somebody tries and cuts it real quick. Come on, just stay to the right.
It's an atrocious move if we're being
Unbelievable.
honest.
I think on top of that, it's pretty funny because Frankie is probably the slowest walker I've ever seen in my entire life. So just keep this in mind, Frankie, because
you got to be comfortable. You got to be
game.
comfortable when you're walking, and when I walk fast, I'm uncomfortable. And so.
You maybe cover like 6 inches.
Why would he be in a rush if he doesn't have to be?
Right. Where do I need to get to?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Well, I don't really have anything to get off of my chest today. But one thing that it's on my mind right now. I just moved into a new apartment. And I was thinking about having some people over. And, when you sign the lease agreement, the landlord says, like, if you're going to have people over, make sure you go and knock on their door and tell them, like, hey, I'm having people over. So it might get a little loud. Tell me if you want me to keep down. And I think it's maybe it's just me. I don't know.
Are you panicking a little bit?
I'm not panicking, but like there should be some kind of like meet and greet when you sign the lease agreement. Like I don't want to have to go door to door with a pie and be like, "Hey, I'm your new neighbor. Oh,
Maybe
by
you
the
should.
way, I'm gonna be loud. I'm not baking a pie for."
Oh no! You know what you should do? Get your mom scones.
Ooh.
Oh, Claudia.
Oh.
Yeah, my mom does make some really good scones. I'll give her that. But
Bring them just.
No,
one.
I know what you're saying. A little meet
met,
and greet, so you can,
I haven't met any of my neighbors, and I don't want the first interaction to be, "Hey, by the way, I might be an asshole tonight." So, I don't want to put that right in their head. So,
you want to get out there, you want to toss the
there's
flat ball.
got to be a solution to that, right?
But I mean, at the same time, I think it's sort of just a accepted thing. I don't think any people
you are on
having
a college
everyday job. Yeah, it's like I think it's a college type environment, so I think you'll be fine.
In my case, yeah, you probably.
You always get those hardos, though. We all know them. It's 11 o'clock.
I'm trying to study. It's July.
It's a Saturday night.
But I don't want to commit a chop move. And on that subject, today is a special day because for the first time ever, we have our chop move of the week winner in the studio with us, John Bassett. You are the chop of the week. And you know why? This guy, the other day, we're going golfing. He's texting everybody. He's arranging this group event. Oh, meet at the golf course at this time. Everybody be there after work or whatever. Oh. He's organizing the entire thing. This guy's running the show, goes to leave his house, leaves, forgets his golf clubs, has to drive all the way back to his house to get the golf clubs. John, how did you do that?
First,
you're the one running the show.
So, two things here. First, yes, that is an absolute chop move. We will get to that in a second. Second, he still beat you to the course, which is even worse.
And
he had to go home and get everything, and he still beat you to the course by like a half an hour.
And you still had to go home, and that was the day that you quit your job. Well, I don't know if you quit. You're going back to school. My bad, not quit.
You just stepped away.
You stepped away.
I went out with coworkers. And it went longer than I thought.
I mean, the audience can make the verdict here.
Yeah,
I don't know who was a real chop.
We'll put a
Probably
poll
Jeff.
on our Instagram story. You can vote. Who's the bigger chop, me or John? Me for committing to plans and then willingly being late to them with no real excuse, or John for organizing the plans and just chopping it up all day. Really.
Yeah. So make sure you vote on there. I'm expecting to have a.
I'll put one up tomorrow.
Expecting to have a win.
Airs.
Let's just have that. Put that.
And don't forget to message us on Instagram or email us at choppodcast@gmail.com to submit your chop move stories for a chance to win Chop of the Week next week.
So I have the, I don't know, what would you call this? The
best chop move I've ever heard in my life.
I think.
So, Frankie, we kept this a secret from you because John didn't know he was going to win Chop of the Week, but he told me this story when he got here to the studio, and I said, John, you got to say that on air because This is just amazing.
So this is on the New York Daily News. You can find this.
So
this
is
is pretty.
Second? Is this the second?
Yeah, we have
have to do it.
Are we
We
gonna do a
have to do
poll? It sounds like we're doing a poll this week.
A chop of the week special.
Okay.
So this is on New York Daily News. The title of it is "Wedding DJ Arrested in 1992 Murder of Pennsylvania School Teacher." So I will tell you why this man is a chop.
Okay.
Pennsylvania DJ was arrested in the death of a 6th grade teacher after authorities linked him to the crime with DNA uploaded to a genealogy website more than 2 decades after the murder occurred.
Which is phenomenal.
So this guy's a chop because, he had to do the 23andMe or whatever those things are, and Big Brother's watching. Now you're arrested there, buddy. Yeah. Can't do any more DJs, wedding DJs, huh?
You would think if you committed murder and you're trying to
you'd probably lay low
cover
a
that
little
up,
bit.
you wouldn't willingly submit your DNA to the government. That may be the chop move.
I mean, it's
so,
even on.
So what is the normal?
Signed.
The normal task here would be you kill someone, you're just gonna lay low in your house.
Maybe just don't ever give them a chance to figure that out.
Right.
Wait for it to become a cold case.
So failing to just
it was
chill
a
out.
cold case.
Oh,
but it was revived because of
they
this
had it in the
whole
system?
So failing to just chill out, bro, is basically the main chop move here.
Yes.
It's like that is
that's amazing.
We've had some great chop moves already in the early stages of this segment. And I only see them getting better from here, although it will be tough to top some of the ones we've had.
Yeah, we've had some good submissions. But either way, don't forget to submit your chop moves. After this episode, you can message us on our Facebook page, Chopping It Up. Just search it on Facebook. You'll find it. It has our logo. You'll find it. Or message us on Instagram, and we'd love to hear what you have to say. Send us at any time, and you might win. You might get a chance to get a shout-out on the podcast and, become famous.
And who's already gotten a shout-out on the podcast?
Who's that?
Or actually, they were on the podcast. That's Austin Lee and Matt Paris for the Chop Classic preview that we did. And so I know we didn't get to the Chop Classic review last week. That's because we went a little long with some of our segments. But we have John Bassett on this week, and we are going to do a quick Chop Classic review. And John actually, surprisingly, contended for the title this year. He lost by 1 shot to...
Sad day.
You guessed it, Matt Paris.
The heavy favorite. Barely pulled it out.
Didn't play his best golf, but he still hung on for a 1-shot victory over John Bassett and Austin Lee. And John, what was that day like? What were the emotions in your head?
I had no idea I was even contending for it. Well, we had a decent idea that I was playing all right. I went with the bold move and did not use a driver the whole time. I used just my irons because if you've ever seen me golf, I literally cannot drive the ball to save my life.
Yeah, it was a great strategy. Kept the ball in play all day, put the pressure on Matty P.
And we got to the last hole and we counted it up, and I was like, wow, I'm actually in here. I need to make a nice golf shot. And Frankie, who was witness, made a nice golf shot.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
he hit an absolute golf shot.
It just didn't work out.
He left the birdie putt short, which you hate to see.
Hate to see it.
Had you hit that birdie,
we would have went to a playoff.
It would have been a playoff on the 10th hole.
And who knows what would have happened.
For the second year in a row.
For the second year in a row. Austin Lee lost last year, playoff on the 10th hole because he missed a 1-foot putt.
Not even. Maybe like 6 inches.
6-inch putt, which is...
It's harder to miss that putt than make it, actually.
Just take your time.
It was an impressive miss, if we're being honest.
But anyway, second year in a row, didn't happen. John left the birdie putt short.
And Matt walks away with the victory.
And the chop blazer and some prize money.
Yeah, the chop blazer, a little prize money. So yeah, he had a good day. And we'd also like to take this time to announce that Matt Paris, we will get an official statement in the weeks coming, but Matt Paris has officially announced his retirement from the Chop Classic after 2 years in a row. He just thinks that basically it's too easy for him.
He's not a chop.
Yeah,
he's not a chop golfer. He is a chop person.
Oh, he is definitely a chop person.
But he no longer thinks he belongs in it. He thinks he's above that, so he will move to the commentating team in the years to come.
Which is good. As we get more golfers, we need more people on the commentating
it'll
team.
be a little more, be a little more competitive. Give everyone else a little bit more of a chance. So, bright future for the Chop Classic after that announcement.
Can't wait.
Also, shout out to Seth Johnson for getting the last place bat. You come in last place. We have a
aluminum baseball bat,
T-ball,
T-ball
bat, and you get to sign it. So that's a trophy in and of itself. Coming in last place. But
Seth really struggled. He really
did.
He really did struggle.
Yeah.
I watched him for most of the day. He just didn't really have a lot going on. That was good.
He did get disqualified. If I
he got
correctly.
disqualified. You'll have to watch the video that comes out.
Yeah, no spoilers here.
That's
Sorry.
a teaser. Stay tuned.
That's a professional teaser right there.
Yes. But it was a long day of golf. I did pretty well. I'm pretty happy with that.
Jeff did have a strong showing.
I just also want to point out for the second year in a row, I did beat Jeff. That's always a goal of mine, to beat Jeff. So
we won't reveal the official standings, but just know it was an overall good showing from just about everybody in the field, and a good turnout. We had some fans watching, which was pretty cool, and a successful second annual Chop Classic.
And I'll leave you with one more teaser for the video. Jeff hit an unbelievable drive off of the first tee that you won't want to miss.
Heck yeah, I did. That was awesome.
And so I think it's time, Jeff. I think it's that time.
You feeling loose, Frankie?
I'm feeling ready.
So here we go. Frankie's food review. The restaurant that we picked today is not only a local restaurant for southeastern Connecticut, which is where we live. In case you want to know, we wanted to stock the podcast. Now you know. Southeastern Connecticut has this restaurant, but it is also in many places around the United States and maybe the world. I don't know.
It's a chain.
I don't know. It's a chain. I don't know if it's international.
I don't think so.
But it's not?
I think it's a New England restaurant.
Is it really?
Yeah.
All right, let's hear the restaurant.
Either way, the restaurant of choice today, Frankie, tell us about how good their food is. 99 restaurants.
Oh, 99.
It's a personal favorite of mine.
It's a New England restaurant, right?
Yes.
The kids eat free after the Red Sox.
Absolutely, New England restaurant. Kids do eat free when the Red Sox win.
Shout out Red Sox.
For those of you who don't know, I've probably been to 99 over 200 times. Like I go there probably once a week.
So at this point, do you own part of the franchise? Like, are you a franchise owner? You have a location. I mean, 200 times.
I should own it
put
at
some
this
money
point.
into this
I
place.
would actually be getting. I'd be making money at this point if I owned it, just based on us eating there, because we go there so often.
Didn't we go there for your 21st birthday?
Yeah, we did go there for my 21st, but that leads me to the first main point that 99 has to offer, which is great, is their Thursday night special, and you just really can't beat it. You get a little trivia. Starts at 7:30. So you get trivia. You get 50-cent wings all night. You have about 8 flavors to choose from. Chipotle barbecue, regular buffalo. We got a little dry rub, which is nice, little salt and pepper on there. And then come 8 o'clock, you get half-price appetizers.
You can get the cheese moons, mozzarella moons.
Yeah, the mozzarella moons, the
Those are
potato
delicious.
skins, nachos. You can get whatever you want. And so Thursday night really is the move to go to 99. And my birthday last year, 21st, happened to be on a Thursday night. So what do? We got all the boys together. We went to 99. I probably took the biggest tequila shot I've ever taken, which I didn't want to do. It's just the bartender kind of put me on the spot. Couldn't say no. So that was an experience. And then the second main thing you want to know about 99 is they have a great selection of $9.99 meals. You get it like 99. They're sticking true to that.
Of nines.
Yeah, a lot of nines going on. So $9.99 meals. They're just great meals at a time in this country, in society where you can't get any food that's decent for under $10. 99 has the $9.99 special. It has chicken parm. It has what do I get usually?
My personal
the
favorite.
balsamic chicken.
That's the one.
Yeah, the balsamic
That's
chicken's
so
good. And these come with 2 sides, ladies and gentlemen. You really can't beat this. You can add it, make it a 3-course Get a little side salad to start, and then a little dessert for I think $13.29.
And they have gluten-free too, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah, they have nice gluten-free buns for your.
Do they?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Oh.
You know, for a burger. So 99 is. Everyone makes fun of 99, I think, because of like.
Don't
the
forget
chain.
about the popcorn.
Oh yes,
The
I
popcorn.
almost forgot about
You
that.
did.
The popcorn that they give you to start. 75% of it stinks, but you find the 25% where
Yep.
the nice and yellow, nice and golden. It's good popcorn.
Basically, if they bring it to your table and it's you and multiple people, you want the first handful because the other 75% is the crumbs.
and then you got to pick in there a little bit, yeah. So
So
that
you can just ask for extra when you go. Just
so
for
yeah, that is
future
a
reference.
crucial part that they nice starter, but overall 99 I think it's great value. Great, it's pretty good food for the value. I can't really beat it. I would highly suggest 99. I know some people want us to start doing stars for our food reviews. That's just not going to happen. I'm not a stars kind of guy. I'm just more of a word of mouth kind of guy. And my word of mouth is you should definitely, give 99 a shot because it's got some good things going for it. And now, Jeff, this next segment, which will come after the break, is brought to you by Geo Safari Products, an educational toy company that markets electronic learning aids, including the Geo Safari Globe. And let me tell you, folks, the people at Geo Safari were nice enough to send us one of these globes, and it is absolutely phenomenal. Jeff, the best thing about this globe is that it helps us take you around the world. We are back, and we're ready to go around the world with Mr. Steiner, everyone's favorite segment. So, Jeff, spin that globe.
Well, today, Frankie, you're taking a back seat, and our special guest, John Bassett, is going to be placing his finger on the globe and determining where we're taking our trip today. So, John, if you'd close your eyes, please. Globe is spinning. John, where are we going?
Oh, gee.
We are going to the Marshall Islands.
What a pick.
Marshall Islands. Frankie, how do you feel about this?
I
Are
feel
you
like
excited?
it's in the Pacific. That's what I know.
Considered part of Oceania.
I feel like
Pretty close to the
most
Tropic
of the
Cancer.
activities will be water related. Once again, not really any desire to go to the Marshall Islands, but maybe you can change that. Maybe some great scenes.
All right. Well, I'm glad that you think all those things. Now, I'm going to tell you exactly what you're going to do. So we're taking a trip. Everyone knows the format of this, I think, at this point. 4-day trip, 4-day, 3-night stay. You're going Marshall Islands. I'm saying you are going with your family. This is a family trip. You let the kids pick. And they said, you know what? Let's go to the Pacific Ocean. It's beautiful. I've never seen the Pacific. I would love
The husband's name is Marshall, so they're like, you know what? We want to go to your homeland. We want to go to your islands.
Marshall.
But if your name is not Marshall, it's okay. You
are
can
Marshall.
still go there. One thing I do know right off of the bat of the Marshall Islands is that there used to be a nuclear war testing facility.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, you're right.
So just as a heads up, if you're going there with your kids, it's a cool place to check out because there's like a whole.
Oh, this is where. Oh, what was the name of the?
It's Bikini Atoll.
Yes.
And so there's a whole monument I think they have built there that you can go see, and you can go walk out over the silo where they used to test.
That explosion
and everything.
was really something. Yeah.
But beware. I don't know if there's any lingering radiation, but if you're taking your kids, maybe
Maybe leave your kids
maybe
at
don't
home.
spend all day at the monument. But you know what? First day, we're there. I don't know. I'm assuming you're flying in. I don't think you want to take a ship halfway across the Pacific Ocean.
Do you think they even have an airport there?
Oh, they absolutely have an airport. Yeah, it's a country. They must have an airport. Let's not be insensitive here, John.
Well, I'm just saying.
so
it's pretty small, you know?
It is small. But first day, we're flying into the Marshall Islands with our family, and we're American travelers, so we're checking out the American history in the Marshall Islands.
Is this going back to the Pacific War of World War II?
Cold War, right?
No, it's Cold War. It was a testing facility.
This had to have been one of the
Oh,
islands.
I'm sure the
from World
United
War
States.
II.
doing
yeah,
the
had
island
a
jumping
presence
stuff.
there. Yeah, of course. So first day we're checking out the nuclear testing facility. There's a monument there. And then we are also visiting the capital of the Marshall Islands, Majuro. I hope I pronounced that right. It's spread over 64 tiny little islands, and you island hop. They have a bustling port. Oh, there's the airport. That's where you fly into Majuro, and you can check out the different islands. Check out the capital city. Try some of the local food. Typical island diet, I would imagine.
Fish.
A lot of fish dishes. Maybe don't try the imported buffalo. It's probably a little old. But go out, try some food, go hop islands, tiny islands, and
So that's day one?
yeah, that's day one.
All right.
Just catch some rays, that's all.
And speaking of rays, we're not talking sunshine rays. Day 2, we're going scuba diving because any of these island places, you can't go wrong with exploring the coral reefs, with visiting some of the local ocean fauna. So you're going out, you're sailing out maybe from the capital of Majuro. I guess they must have
It got to be a big port.
Yeah, they definitely got
big port there. They must have boats that you can go scuba diving off of. So you're taking a boat out in the Pacific Ocean. The water's clear. It's warm. It's near the equator. It's beautiful there. You're going scuba diving with the family. Little Susie is swimming through all the reefs, and it's just nice. You see some stingrays, perhaps. Avoid them. And I don't know. There's got to be some really cool fish there. I'm not an expert on the fish. Maybe clownfish. I don't know where clownfish are from, but
Yeah, I know.
check it out. Check it out. Go scuba diving there and tell me what kind of fish are there.
So first day we're going island hopping. Second day we're going scuba diving. What are we doing the third day, Jeff?
Well, scuba diving's taking up the whole day. But maybe we get to enjoy the beach at nighttime, the second night. Because
sunset on the beach.
It's,
like that.
It's paradise.
Sunset.
The Marshall Islands, sunset on the beach. Maybe go stargazing.
Ooh,
Little walk along the beach, check out the
Nice.
constellations, and really just get to know the area and enjoy yourself. Enjoy being outside. It's a paradise. Right?
So far, seems like a pretty
Island.
relaxing area that you go to, huh?
Third day, we are going out from the Majuro Lagoon and taking it's just a short 40-minute boat ride from Majuro. We're heading out to Anico Island, and it's run by a private residential, like a corporation type of deal. And that's where you're really gonna get to enjoy the beach. So you're going out.
Is this like a fort? Sounds like a fort.
It's not a fort. It's like a resort, kind of.
Okay.
Similar to a resort. There's tons of small bungalows, so maybe you rent a bungalow for a day.
Oh,
you take your
definitely
family
gotta do
there.
it. Definitely gotta do that.
Mom's getting a little sauced on the rum and cokes, rum drinks out there, because you're in the Pacific, and when you're in the Pacific, do as the locals do, right? So we're enjoying the beach.
When in Marshall
Islands, enjoy what the Marshallians do.
Marshallian. What do you think? What do you think is the?
It's Marshall Islanders, without a doubt.
Yeah, for sure.
But you get out, enjoy the beaches, explore the local areas, see the sights. It's beautiful there. It's paradise. And then the fourth day, we are going to pack our snorkel gear, and we're going for the island of Jaluit. Hard to pronounce. Jaluit. It's a 91 island atoll. I realize I said one island. It's 91 small islands. That's kind of the way it is in the Marshall Islands. Lots of tiny islands making it up. And you're going to go snorkeling there, but you're not taking the whole day. You are going out, and this is where you're getting your souvenirs. This is where you're getting your
bathing suit,
more
maybe
food.
like a little bathing suit.
Yeah.
A little towel.
So go out, enjoy swimming in between all the small islands. There's lots of cool things to see underwater. It's a beautiful place.
Tough trip for people who can't swim, huh?
Well, that's the nice part about the
Probably should get
snorkeling. That's the nice part about the snorkeling is even if you're not a strong swimmer, you're near the surface, so you could be right by the beaches and still see tons of.
That's a lot of
ocean
treading
fauna.
water.
That is
Good workout.
No nightlife, huh?
Well, I mean, you're
It's
outside.
it's a
an
family.
island.
No, it's a
an
family
island.
trip.
It's a family trip.
You're not. No one's going
Alright.
out late. No one's getting rowdy. You're in
Well,
bed by 10.
like I said, mom's
You're in bed by
getting rowdy
10.
on the second night.
Third.
Third night, whatever night you're going out, pick one of them. And then
All four.
And then after you're done snorkeling, you're exhausted. You feel like you've enjoyed 4 wonderful days in the paradise of the Marshall Islands. We're going to head back to the capital of Majuro and fly out of there knowing that the family had a good time. You feel relaxed. You saw the Pacific Ocean both above and below. And you've been to the Marshall Islands. Cross it off your list. It's beautiful.
I like that.
You can't go wrong with it.
Sounds like, John, sounds like that's maybe something you'd want to do.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Not a Marshall Islands tenant.
Yeah.
I think he's scared of the nuclear radiation. If
No,
there's any left
I'm
over.
just, I enjoy the beach, but, marine life I can do without,
Yeah.
Sharks aren't really my thing.
I'm the same way. It's
I get that. I would go. Marshall Islands sounds beautiful.
and hopefully many of you would go. And Jeff, you know who else would maybe go to the Marshall Islands?
Who's that, Frankie?
Haley Baldwin and Justin Bieber.
Oh, recently engaged,
Yeah,
right?
recently engaged. Yeah, engaged. We're gonna make sure we get that one right. Not married.
Yeah.
Engaged.
And so our first headline for Hollywood for Dummies is Haley Baldwin was rooting for Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez back in 2011 to
How
do
wild
well.
is
Basically
that?
to do well in
How
their
wild is
their
that?
relationship.
I think it makes sense. She seems like a nice girl. And he's better off being engaged to her because you know what? She sees a guy that she's apparently interested in and says, you know what? Good for him.
Why do you say apparently?
'cause they're
Never
engaged.
mind. I see what you're saying.
And
now.
she says, good for him. I want him to be happy. And then in the end, he's ending up with her. That's only right. Someone who end up with someone who
That's good karma.
has you in their best interest.
That's great karma.
Great karma.
But there is a different side of this. She could have been one of those like fake. Oh, I hope you two do great. I'm
Yeah.
really pulling for you. And deep down, we all know what she was thinking. It's like when you're talking to someone and they ask you, how are you, and it's someone you haven't talked to all day. It takes a rare kind to actually care about how that person's day is going. Most people just say, "Oh, I'm doing well. How are you?" And then they kind
That's
of
the end of it. It's just a formality,
they black out for their "How are you?" Yeah. So she was probably asked about this, and she was probably like, "Oh no, yeah, it's great. I'm pulling for him." When deep down, we all know what she was thinking.
Well, not only that. I mean, can we just talk about the fact that Justin Bieber is engaged right now? This guy, what are you doing, buddy?
He's a mess.
I mean,
It sounds like he's put together, but deep down, he's a mess.
I never would have thought that Justin Bieber's getting engaged at this young, if I'm being honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably already lived everything he needs to. He's already seen everything.
Yeah,
he
he's
needs to
already
see.
had those
He's
instances. Yeah.
He's got the
Partied.
lived experience, even though how old is he?
Late.
Is he like
26?
25?
Mid
26?
to late 20s, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean,
It's time. He wants to start thinking about having kids.
How long were they dating for? Do we know?
I don't know.
Before he put a ring on it.
Hopefully long enough
I
to
think
find
before
out.
he put a ring on her.
I think
I should
only
say.
like 3 months,
Oh boy.
Oh wow.
right? Or maybe 6.
Well, but they were dating beforehand too, like in the past, correct?
No, I don't think so. I think they were just kind of.
I thought they did. I think that
Or
they
maybe
did
they
at some
did.
point in time.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, they
it's-
did a little bit.
Yeah.
It's the perfect time to get married. Mid to late 20s. That's when you're ready to start having kids. And speaking of kids, singers Cardi B and Offset welcomed their first daughter, Culture Kiari Cephas. What a name! That's nuts.
Culture with a K.
With
With
a
a K. You
Doing
gotta
it
put
for
that
the
out there.
culture. This is for the culture.
For the culture.
I mean, this is a diabolical name. There's really no other way to say it.
Do you feel bad for the kid? You must, right? Her
You
name
got
is
it.
Culture with a K.
You got to, the teacher's going down the attendance. Culture, Cephas. Actually, I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, you like that?
It's not awful. It's,
It's
not
not
as bad
terrible.
as, it's not as bad as I first thought. It's still an interesting move to name your
It is very
daughter
interesting.
after your album.
Yeah.
Two albums.
I'm just
Well, yeah, 2 albums, but yeah, it's interesting for sure.
It's an interesting take.
KKC. Weird initials, but
KKC?
maybe, now that you say it, it has a nice ring to it. I don't know. Culture.
KK Kiki?
Kiki.
Kiki, do you love me?
Ooh, I see what
Oh,
you did
boy.
there.
Hey.
This guy knows it. Well, either way.
How do we think they're going to do as parents?
I don't want to comment on that. I feel like I'll get into trouble.
We don't have enough listeners to get into trouble. Yeah.
I think they'll be fine.
Give it time. I I feel like they're both really busy. I feel like a lot of these Hollywood couples, it's a lot of time spent with nannies.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say that just bluntly. I hope it goes well, though. I hope it goes very well.
Yeah.
You know, every child deserves a good family and a good home atmosphere.
Yeah, we're pulling for culture.
Yeah.
Hopefully, she does better than the 2 albums, which were still pretty good. So if she's doing better than that, then
I think she's all set. Yeah.
she's doing well.
Yeah, and this next one, guys, this one really hits home because
it really does.
Yeah, it does.
It goes back to the past, my past, your past. I think a lot of people's past. Blockbuster down to 1 store in the United States after 2 of the stores in Alaska are set to close. Blockbuster, that was our childhood. You go
1 store left, huh?
One store
Where
left.
do you think that store is? Let's
In
take
Alaska,
guesses.
I would think.
If 2 in Alaska, if the last 2 of the last 3 were in Alaska, it's probably 1 in Alaska. Blockbuster.
They just don't have Netflix there yet, or
used to, I don't know. I think Netflix is only not available in China. I actually saw a map of this earlier today.
Well, and North Korea, don't forget about.
or is it?
Yeah, I mean, well, or is it? I don't know.
Come on.
It can't be.
Hey, there's no way.
But Blockbuster down to 1. Yeah, there was nothing like that Friday night when you were like a young kid going to Blockbuster.
Yeah.
Let's take a drive down to Blockbuster.
Yeah, go
rent a VHS.
Yeah, go pick out a VHS.
You know what really annoyed me, though, is when you went to Blockbuster and the movie you really wanted to see,
They didn't have
they
it.
didn't have it.
Because they only had 1 copy of
Yeah.
it, and the
Or-
Joneses down the
You're
street
like, are you
rented
kidding
it.
me? Come on.
Or
Like, come on.
or they just hadn't gotten it yet. And
Yeah.
like the movie had been out for like a year, and they're just like, oh yeah, we're getting it soon. We're getting it soon.
Like, yeah, come on, guys.
It was really
Get it
weird to
together
me
here.
when they started like adding DVDs. It was this new technology, you know, and I don't remember how old I was, but it was strange. It's like, whoa, wait a minute, these little discs, like it's supposed to be a big cassette.
Well, and then
What's up with that?
started adding video games. You could go there and rent the video games.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
That's
I think
when,
I did that.
That's when it started to get a little out of control.
Yeah.
That's when the parents had to kind of reel us back in. Like,
Yeah.
all right, let's chill.
But not only that, like, how is Blockbuster just not smart enough to be like, oh, well, internet's coming out. Maybe we should figure out something,
Yeah.
Allow Netflix
Maybe
to
they
come in
really
there
bought
and-
into Y2K.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
just didn't. You know what the positive here though is that we all have those Blockbuster DVDs still lying around. We don't have to pay them off
With the late fees?
Yeah,
they
with
no
the
longer
late
apply?
fees. I think they just gave up with the.
Oh,
late
yeah, they
fees.
dug
they must
themselves a
have.
hole
Yeah,
for sure.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Did they sell to another company, or is they're just
No, I
they're just
think-
giving it up? They're just clinging for dear life and
Just like-
going bankrupt.
Just like Toys R Us, I think they're sort of just clinging up. And
Toys R Us.
Toys R Us is another one that
Damn,
just closed
Jeff
down.
Bezos.
Yeah.
It's just terrible.
Amazon just really. It's just
You
sad.
hate to see it.
It's
You hate
just
to
sad.
see it.
Hate to see it.
And you know what else we hate to see? This is actually a new segment we're introducing tonight. We have John on the podcast. Obviously, we were all roommates. We've already talked about this. And so this new segment is Zoidisms. And
boy.
this is going to take a few minutes to explain here.
Why do I have a bad feeling in my gut?
So
Sinking feeling.
Zoidisms, first of all, the word Zoid, which probably no one knows.
It actually developed from the word chop.
It developed from the word chop, and what the word Zoid basically means is the same thing as a chop.
It's a synonym.
Yeah, it's a synonym. We just kind of like the ring to it, didn't we?
It came from chopazoid, which kind of morphed because it was like an added degree. Like it was the next level of chop. You evolved.
Yeah.
You could have a chop move, and then you were also just being a total chopazoid.
Yeah, so hopefully we don't lose the listeners right here really quick, but if you could all stick with me. So chop, obviously you know where that word comes from. Chopazoid came from the fact that I was watching a show one night in the dorm room, and it was a show about it. It was an adventure show. It was like it wasn't The Amazing Race, but it was something similar to The Amazing Race. And one of the people on the show, she was complaining that her trapezoid hurt. And Jeff and I just kind of paused and looked at each other like, did she just say trapezoid? which is obviously a shape.
Not a muscle.
Yeah, not a muscle.
She meant her traps on her upper back.
Yeah, I don't. What are those trapezius?
Trapezius?
Oh, you're digging yourself into a hole here,
well,
Frankie.
we just know it's not trapezoid.
Yeah, it's not trapezoid because that's a shape. But I started. We heard that, and I started saying chopazoid as like a joke. And then that's where the word zoid derives from, is the end of the chopazoid.
Yeah, it's just a shortened version.
So it's honestly just a synonym for chop. But so zoidism, to get back to the segment, this will be a segment where John and I will pick one or two pet peeves that we had when we all lived together. And or not even pet peeves, just something that like we noticed would occur a lot. And we kind of just wanted to talk about it. And even if John isn't here, we still probably continue this segment once in a while to kind of just talk about our time in Rosebrooks 418. And John, we actually haven't discussed what we were going to talk about
I think we already know our first one.
But I think we already know what we're going to talk about without even talking about it. So why don't you start?
No, you can kick it off nice and well for us.
Okay, so
I know that you particularly found
there's
this
two.
very, very annoying,
Okay.
as much as I did, but you're a little more vocal about it.
So then I think that kind of gives it away. The one I think John is talking about is so Jeff has very long hair. For those of you who don't know this,
he also can grow a nice beard. I'll put it there.
He can
Very
grow a
good beard.
great beard, and
thank you.
We knew this because he simply would not clean any of it up. So he would take a shower. We'd go into the shower after him, and there would be long hairs on the ground in the drain.
Yeah, they always collected in the drain,
which is just very
It's like, come
gross. Not really what you want to see. And then we get out, and it gets even better because he has all of his little
trimmings.
Yeah, trimmings
all over the sink.
And
mind you, in our dorm, there's a double sink.
Double sink, and they encompassed all of the sinks.
Doesn't matter. They're in both.
And
they're there.
It would usually take about 3 or 4 requests before Jeff.
Well, and we knew it was his because Jeff has a red beard. It's red.
I also don't really grow facial hair.
Well, neither do I. And
but Meyer could always grow facial hair.
Yeah, shout out to Meyer. Meyer didn't always clean up his trimmings either, which was a little annoying. But
I was the main culprit.
Oh yeah, Jeff 100%. Yeah.
But in my defense, with the shower thing, I just need to interject here. My defense, a lot of times, I would shower right before we went out. And we were running late because I'm always late.
I think this might go into our second one.
Well,
but we can keep
give
going.
Me a second. I got to complete my defense here. So we would be going out to the bar or wherever we were going, and I was always running late, and we'd almost be ready to leave, and I'd say, wait a minute, I got to take a quick shower. And I'd take a shower, and then you guys would be yelling at me through the bathroom door to get out because we had to go. And so that doesn't leave much time.
Not much time to clean up the hair.
But I'll be honest, that was not all the time, and
so that leads us to our second point. Jeff was never ready to leave
for anything,
like ever. And John, you want to tell everyone why he was never ready to leave?
He would just we don't know. He would just stand up and walk around.
He would just that's actually going to lead us to our third point.
That could lead us to our third. But we don't know what he was doing. He would do laundry.
He would just sit there.
He would sit there
on the futon
while we're getting ready,
stare into space, have us throw him the football so he could work on his one-handed catches.
Oh my gosh!
But he can't catch a basketball, ladies and gentlemen.
Can I catch a football?
Oh, you can catch a football, ladies and gentlemen. But
catch it with one finger.
He would pretty much just sit there on his laptop daydreaming for about an hour and a half, and then he'd say, "Oh wait, I think I should get ready," and then he'd be about a half an hour late. So that was the third thing. And I think the final thing here...
That was second. This is third.
Sorry.
No need to number it. There's a lot of them.
Sorry. That was the second thing. And the third and final thing, which was actually my personal favorite, was...
I think it was mine as well.
So we had 2 double bedrooms in the dorm.
Dorm. Yeah, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, kind of a suite, but the dorm. And John and I lived together, and
we had a living room.
We did have a living room.
2 bedrooms coming off a living room,
right?
For those who are trying to picture this.
And John and I would be sitting in our room doing work, watching Netflix, whatever we were doing.
We were just sleeping. Say 9:30 in the morning on a Saturday.
Yeah, just chilling out. And What do you know? Jeff will walk in and he'll just start doing laps in our room.
He won't say. He might not say a word. Just walk around and walk out.
I didn't think that's where you guys were going with this.
He was pondering. He would just walk in, walk around. He would start talking to us while he was walking around. He would never just sit down, or he would never just sit in the common room and talk to us. It was
and
honestly,
mind you, Frankie and I were not the best morning people in the entire world. I think in the morning, I think we can agree here. We both sort of just, want a little peace and quiet, don't really want anything going on.
Yeah.
And, I just wake up and I turn over, open my eyes, and there stands Jeff Steiner right in the middle of the room. I did not know what to say.
Guys.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, what's going on?
All happy and giddy, ready to get up for the day. I'm like, can you please let me wake up for a little bit?
Guys, I was thinking that, we're doing a new space program, the United States government, and we'd be like, Jeff, what are you talking about? And this is all while he's doing laps. So I think those are our three Zoided.
I do some of my best thinking when I'm pacing in a circle. I just gotta say.
Yeah, you did say that earlier. He actually does that right before we're trying to do this podcast.
Yeah, it makes starting the podcast hard because a lot of times I'll sit down and then I'll just stand right back up, walk around the room once, and sit back down.
And the best thing about this is these are all known things that Jeff knew that we made pet peeves of and made fun of.
And I just did it anyway.
Yeah, I mean this one wasn't really a pet peeve; it was just kind of funny.
Yeah, we just wanted to let you guys know about it.
And I think we'll conclude the 5th episode with our World Cup update. We have the final on Sunday.
We're getting pretty deep into the tournament.
We have the 3rd place game on Saturday. Unfortunately, John and I are heartbroken, and we're not going to lie. We thought we were going to be seeing the 3 Lions playing on Sunday. Is it afternoon or morning?
It's like 11 or noon, or I don't know.
Be sure to
it doesn't.
It
doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, you don't need to
tune in.
Tune in to the 3rd place game.
Saturday.
Get to watch Trent Alexander-Arnold. He's going to be an absolute stud.
Jamie Vardy. He'll probably slot one home.
Oh, yeah, he probably will.
Yeah.
So that was disappointing. But the first point I have for the World Cup update is Mbappe is not only fast, but he is pretty good. I don't know how many of you saw the back heel that he had. This guy is something special. As much as I didn't like his antics at the end of the game with the time wasting, I think that's soft. I think that's petty. I think that's why most Americans don't like soccer, is because of stuff like that. But, this guy is special. If you think that Neymar is better than Mbappe, you're just not smart. You're just not smart.
You're nuts.
It's just not. You don't understand soccer.
And Jeff, do you know how old Mbappe is?
I have no idea, John.
19.
Oh.
Yeah. So he's Jason Tatum's age.
Jason Tatum, another great player.
And he could potentially be the best soccer player in 3 years in the world. So.
Plays for France.
Plays for France. He'll be playing on Sunday. So, he's pretty special. Moving on, if only Harry Kane had been clinical one more time. He had a great tournament. He's a great player, great captain. You don't want to bash Harry Kane. It's just one more time if he was clinical. I think that England goes up 2-0. I don't think they lose that game.
Yeah, my boy Jay Lings also probably should have had a goal too.
Yeah, that was it was a little unfortunate. He hits the post. Tough angle for sure, but usually he's putting those away.
Yeah.
So that was tough. Which leads me to my 3rd point from this game. Dejan Lovren and Demagogue Vida were reportedly arrested for armed robbery and murder last night while celebrating their victory in Moscow. But, and this is a big but, they still have not received a yellow card.
Not surprising.
From
they
that
murdered
game.
Somebody?
Yeah, they murdered someone.
Are you nuts? Are you serious?
No.
I'm kidding, Jeff.
I was gonna say this is the first I've heard of this. This is crazy.
But if you watch the game,
yeah, we'll cut that part. But
we don't have to.
But no, yeah. If you watch that game, the fact that these two, I'm gonna say, one of them I feel like should have been sent off.
Oh my gosh!
It was
Lovren should have had 7 yellow cards in itself.
Lovren was blacking out. He was just running around.
Unbelievable to watch.
He was running around like a chicken with his head cut off, just running into people, pushing people after the play. I've never seen anything like this.
And then did you hear about this blasphemy that he said after the game?
No, what did he say after
He said he's a world-class defender.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah, you're world-class. You should play football. Come over here and play some American football. You'd be pretty good, strong safety.
I mean, the fact that he did not receive a yellow card is just... It's simply unbelievable. That's really all I got from that. Looking forward to the final, it's hard to bet against someone who is playing for their life, which is Luka Modric. So, Jeff, I don't know if you're in on this. I don't know if you've heard about this, but Luka Modric is actually on trial in Croatia for 5 years in prison for a perjury charge.
I did not know that.
And pretty much, like, most of Croatia, like, doesn't...
Hates him.
Yeah, hates him. Pretty much doesn't like him.
He's the captain.
He's
of
the
their national
captain,
team.
the best player, one of the best players in the world. Without him, there's no way they're in this position. And I think he needs to win the World Cup to maybe get a little presidential pardon.
How is it that he's even playing if he's...
Because it's still on trial.
It's still on trial, so they just push it back.
As long as he makes his court date.
So then they just push it back, and they push it back. But, I mean...
he'll probably, even if he does get convicted or whatever,
I'll say
this.
You know what I want to see? You know what I'd like to see this? I'd like to see Luka Modric score the game winner in the World Cup final. Win Croatia their first and probably last title ever in the World Cup, because there's no shot they're getting back to the World Cup final. I'd love to see him score, win it, and then...
You think they'll wear their jerseys, the checkered ones?
Yeah, maybe. France is red. I mean, France will wear blue, the dark blue.
Yeah.
And Croatia will wear the checkered. Yeah, it'll be interesting to
cool.
see. But I'd like to see him score and see how that plays into the whole charges.
See if he gets let off of his charges for
you never
winning
know.
a World Cup.
I think Donald would do that for Pulisic.
Well, we won't get into that.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about that.
And last but certainly not least, I think Neymar is still lying on the ground waiting for the ref to give him a penalty. He's been lying there for about a week on that ball to the back post where he could have just headed it in.
For a goal to,
Yeah, for a goal to tie the game and send it to overtime. Instead, he's just lying there, it's still in VAR.
Yeah.
The VAR is looking at it, and they're going to come to a conclusion soon. Neymar thinks he got fouled. I'm sure he did get fouled. He never falls or anything.
No.
So, yeah, he's still looking for the penalty.
Was he rolling?
Yeah, he got a few rolls in.
All right.
He's probably done a couple laps around the stadium by now with that roll.
Yeah.
Might have sore ribs at this point.
Yeah, probably.
And that's all I got, Jeff, for the World Cup update.
Okay, Frankie. Well, John, is there anything else you'd like to say before we end the show?
It's been a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
We enjoyed having you.
Rosebrooks 418, come through.
And that's it.
Shout out Meyer.
That's it, episode 5.
We'll
You've been listening to Chopping It Up.
We'll see you guys next week.
Thanks, guys.